Hello there, my fellow witches and wizards. Welcome to Alchemical Recipes. And today, the title of our topic, yes, that's a great intro. The title of the topic of our video today, we're rolling with this, is what are thoughts? So recently, I just ended the filming of the video, You Are Not My Mind. So I feel like the next segue into that is okay, well, if I'm not my mind, well, what are thoughts? And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. So let's get right to it. Okay. Okay. So, what are thoughts? Very interesting because we don't really ask ourselves that question. When I ask myself the question, what are thoughts? I am reminded, or I should better say, I am taken back to Greece and the Greek philosophers. Um, was it Plato that said, I think, therefore I am? Someone said it, and this is not a history channel. Whatever, this had to do something with the other video, but I digress. Focus. So, what are thoughts? So the Greeks had this myth, this legend, right? The Greek mythology about the harpies. The harpies were these entities that would yell and shout and, the guilty conscience, and you see them depicted as like a person, like, oh my god, shut up, and all the harpies just like, yelling at him, blah, blah, blah. They weren't wrong. So harpies, that myth, or that feeling of having intrusive thoughts, that feeling of having my mind won't shut up, I am trying to focus on this, but I am thinking of something else, and I'm being pulled or yanked right back and forth between all these stories and emotions and thoughts and words and feelings and everything, right? All of that is just energy. I know, right? Let me write it down. So, nope, not red. We are going to use green in this video, just because. Thoughts are energy. Literally. Thoughts are just misplaced energy. What does this mean? Okay, so you know that as a human being, you are capable of, let's just, for example, right? Humor me. Let's say that you're sitting right now and you think of a puppy, right? And you're like, just in your mind, you're like, oh my god, this puppy is so cute, and I can picture him, and I can picture myself playing with him, and he's just jumping all over me, and it's just the most adorable thing ever, right? When you thought about that thought, it generated an emotion, didn't it? When you sit in bed and you overthink about situations that might scare you, you generate fear. When you sit down and you think about what's going to happen when I clock into work today, what type of day will I have, you generate anxiety. When you think of a puppy, you generate happiness. I'm just getting a download from Spirit. Spirit wants me to say, to remind all of you of that song from The Sound of Music. These are a few of my favorite things. when she's trying to calm the children and she's trying to get them to think about all of the good things that they love so that they can get rid of that feeling of dread. My darlings, my beautiful spirits, thoughts are energy. You're a creator, right? You are creating, generating emotions. Because remember, we can't forget that emotions are energy in motion. Oh, not I wait. Oh, I did not write emotions right. This is embarrassing. Emotions. There we go. So emotions are energy. Ow! Come on. Emotions are energy in motion. Remember this, right? So that means when you generate a thought, right? These are a few of my favorites. You generate energy. When you generate energy, you create an emotion. You are not creating, obviously, because energy is just being transmuted. What I'm trying to get to is just a play on words, but what I'm trying to get you to realize is that you, with your thoughts that are energy, which create emotions, which is energy moving around you, you are creating your reality, right? Everything that you feel, you can change it. It's your choice. You have free will, right? Everything that you're thinking of is just energy that's been blocked by your mind. Let me explain that a little bit better. Sometimes we have what we call intrusive thoughts, which we cannot control, right? And most of the time, I want to say all of the time, but most of the time, those thoughts generate bad feelings or bad emotions, which, if you've been tuning into the channel, we know it's a low vibration, right? Those intrusive thoughts, let me take a deep breath. Those intrusive thoughts is energy that is inside of you that's trying to leave your system. That's why they're intrusive. It's because it's trying to get out. But the thing is, because our mind, we're so conditioned by our mind, that the second that we have an intrusive thought, which generates a negative emotion, our mind kicks in and we block it and we resist it. And we go, no, 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 I'm not going to feel that. I'm just going to ignore it. I'm just going to push it down. I'm just going to keep busy. Keep busy, keep busy, keep busy. So what you're doing is you're creating a dam. You're blocking the flow of energy. So we have to remember I can't remember which law it is, but one of the laws of thermodynamics is that energy rises, right? Heat is energy. And energy rises always, right? So when you have intrusive thoughts, it's because there's energy rising within you, right? Emotions. Energy in motion. There's energy that's rising within you and it's coming up as an intrusive thought. And what you're doing, what we are doing instinctively, because we're not even doing it on purpose, is blocking it because it feels bad. It feels painful. It feels like I do not want to feel that. That's why I want you to that's why I want to really break down what really thoughts are. so that you can start liberating yourself from that fear of feeling. Because we all know that the only way to get rid of this energy is to allow it to pass. Right? It's in motion. Let it move. You have to feel your feelings. There's no other way around this. It is painful, yes, but that's why we have this. We remind ourselves every day that it's possible, and we push through this. I think that pretty much covers it, honestly. Doing a recap, just because for some reason I feel like doing that. So thoughts are energy. You can create positive energy and you can create negative energy. When you have intrusive thoughts, thoughts that you cannot control, that is energy trying to leave your system. It comes up as emotions. And you may ask yourself, what do you mean there's energy stuck in my system? Oh, baby. We're going to have to talk about chakras. We're going to have to talk about the chakras very soon. Because that's where this energy is stored. And it comes up as intrusive thoughts. Because it's trying to leave your body. You don't want it there. It doesn't want to be there. But we resist it. We fight it. And we need to stop. And hopefully this really explains everything that you need to know about thoughts and intrusive thoughts. And we'll see what I talk about next. Okay, we're rolling with it. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hopefully you'll like and subscribe and you'll stay tuned because I got a lot more to cover. And I'm just gonna pump this out. I'm just gonna keep on going. And I'm just gonna keep on rolling.